Hi guys, it's Pete from MyJewelryBench.com. Today you can see I am not in my workbench. I am not on the computer. I'm here doing something else. It's Easter Sunday. I hope you guys are all having a good Easter for those of you who celebrate it. And if not, just have a wonderful day. I have a collection of some motorcycles that I have been meaning to work on a little bit, and I just haven't had the time to do it. But with this quarantine stuff, I've got all the time in the world right now. So let me just give you a quick tour of what I've got, and we'll get started working on the project that I want to cover today. So to give you a brief little history of this particular bike, this is a 1999 BMW F650 ST or Funduro, whatever you want to call it. And I bought it in, I believe it was 2011. Bike is in wonderful condition. I haven't ridden since Hurricane Irma. So I'm it's been a little over 2 years since that happened, and I just got to get back on the bikes, but I figured, well, I got this time, I might as well kind of get to these and do some little maintenance. So replacement batteries are coming. I've got some projects I want to do on this bike, one of which we'll cover today. And then my wife loved mine so much that she said she wanted one, so we bought her this 1999 F650 ST that when I bought it was in horrible condition. So this was a rebuild about 8 years ago, and it is running really, really well. It runs better than mine, I think. This has the factory lowering kit, which is perfect for my wife since she's only about 5'4", and I'm 5'10", so works out better for her. These are single cylinder bikes. They're great bikes. You can't kill them. I love them. And then behind that, I'll get a little shot of it, is my wife's Honda, if I can get back here, her Honda CB200, and I believe that is the touring edition for a little 1974. That bike still runs really well. This year I think I'll probably tear it down, do an engine rebuild, and get this all working perfect for her, and redo the carbs because it's due for a new carb rebuild. And then last is my baby. This is the bike I love the most. This is a 2013, I believe, K1200 RS, and this is the bike I love the most. I could ride this bike for hours and hours and hours, and it just runs like a champ. It's only got 25,800 miles on it, and I fell in love with it the first time I saw it, and when it came up for sale, I decided to jump on it, and I just have never been happier with a motorcycle since I've been riding. It's just a fantastic motorcycle. The only thing I've done differently was I bought some extended bar risers for it just so that I'm sitting upright. I'm a small guy. I don't like leaning over. I'm only 5'10", 150 pounds. So for me, this is a big heavy bike, 650 pounds, and I'd rather be in an upright position than kind of hunched over like on most sport touring bikes. But this is my baby. Anyway, today I want to tackle replacing these decals that were in rough shape to begin with. They're all cracking and falling apart, and I've got one on each side. It's time to get these things off of here and put some new stickers on. So I spent some time, made some stickers yesterday, and I am going to put some new decals on this and then clean this up, make it look a little bit better. Let's get started, guys. Okay, so to work on this panel, I'm actually going to take it off the bike because I think working on it, not on the bike, is going to be much easier to do. So I am going to pull the seat, we'll take this cover off real quick and get that working good. Turn the seat lock, pull the seat right off, comes right off, easy to get. Gives me access to everything else. And then there's just 2 screws on this that I have to remove. There's 1. And 2. And this is held in place with a little plug here. And just so I don't lose my screws, I usually just put them back where they came from. That way I know where they go. Depending on how far you go with a bike, you can kind of tear it down and put everything in baggies too. So with that done, now I have to get this sticker off, and this sticker will come off. I'm going to use a heat gun and a plastic scraper to lightly peel this off, and the trick is not to apply too much heat, just enough to kind of get the glue to come off and then get this to come out, and then we will clean it up and go. Part 2. Okay, so let's get the heat gun plugged in, and we'll set this to warm, which here it is 430 to 570, and I'm going to gently start heating this up. We'll start over at the end. It's Florida, it's 90 degrees out, so if I start sweating, just excuse the sweat. And voila, it comes right off. Guys, I'm going to do the, turn this off here. Let that cool down. While that's going down, I'm going to pull the other fender off, and we're going to go through that and do this off camera, and I'll get both pieces ready to go. So the next thing we have to do here is make sure you have some microfiber towels and make sure that they are clean. And if you don't have any of these pads, you want to get some of these pads, and I use this ultra-fine polish, which is kind of like a very, very fine rubbing compound. It's not a wax, it's not a sealer. And what I'm going to do is just kind of get the rest of this polish up a little bit, and I'm going to shake this up real good. I'm going to pour a little bit of this on the pad, and we're going to see how well I can get this by hand. And that like that, and let's just start rubbing this out. Now, I don't know if you can see it, but over 20 years, 21 years, this bike has had some UV obviously hitting it, and it's darkened up where the original paint is, and where the sticker was. You can see it's much more light. I'm probably never going to get that out unless I completely buff this down, and this is all original, this bike. I'm not going to really mess with it too much, but I do want to get this cleaned up a little bit. I'm going to try to get these old scratches off. A little more on. I tend to do things by hand. Obviously, being a jeweler and a watchmaker, I tend to take my time and do most everything by hand, unless it's something big and hard or difficult to work with. Then I'll use a buffing machine. But for a part like this plastic part, I don't want to put too much pressure on it. I just want to polish it by hand as much as possible. Get that as clean, as smooth as I can. And so I've got a lot of that out. I'm not getting the isopropyl alcohol. Might take a little bit of the glue off. I don't want to use any harsh chemicals on it, so let's get a little dab on this. Let's see if we can get rid of this residue here. it is working. It's taking it off. That's good. I'm going to grab this other panel here and we'll see if we can get some of that glue off of this one too while I'm here. Okay, that's looking good. I'm going to grab the polish and polish this up a little bit. Just a little bit. You don't need a lot. Got this little black mark here. It's probably for one of my boots. Let's see if we can get that to rub out. It's coming out. That looks pretty good. Let's give this a little bit of a wipe down here. And then I'll just take my microfiber cloth and just rub it down. And yeah, you can still see where the UV's kind of discolored the paint over the years, but not bad for 20 years, not 21 years. This bike is in great shape. Okay, so with that done, let's go wipe this down with some isopropyl alcohol, take off the polish, and just leave the body kit nice and clean. This should make it look a little bit dull, but that's okay, because I know it'll be clean. And again, guys, I know it's like 90 degrees down here, Easter Sunday. I should be in the pool. Okay, I'm going to let that dry up a little bit, and we'll move on to the next step. So you guys are probably wondering, how did I do these decals? And what I did was I went online a few months ago because I had this idea of taking some old metal pocket watch dials and redoing them. You know, they were just too far gone. I could send them out to be repainted. It'd probably be about $200. And I thought, well, geez, let me try to see if I can make some custom dials, and how I was going to do that. And rather than invest in a whole series of painting tools to do that and rubber stamping them, what I thought I'd try is I'd try these. So this is Waterslide paper, and this is for an inkjet printer, so you could use this with your inkjet printer. Waterslide comes in transparent or a color, a background color. Now I have white and I have transparent. I'm using the transparent on this because I want the paint to come through the opposite side of my stickers. The instructions come on the back of the package, and you get like 20-25 sheets depending on how you order it. You can order a whole lot of this, or you know, it goes a long way, so you know, you don't have to go crazy when you buy this stuff. I'll put links in the description below. I bought this stuff on Amazon and it was relatively inexpensive. It came in a day. With the pandemic, it'll probably take you a few days to get it, but hey, that's what it is. What I did was I went and tried to find the best match I could for my bike, since it's an ST. So I went with the F650 ST. These decals are kind of hard to get, and I probably should do them in vinyl, but I decided I was going to try doing this with the Waterslide paper first. And if it doesn't work, hey, what the heck. I've got it. I didn't have to order anything. I don't have to wait for shipping. So it's something, you know, I figured I'd try to do while I'm sitting here doing nothing. How this is going to work, obviously these go on the bike. This would be the top. This is the opposite side, so I'll show you this side. And what I'm going to do, you can see where the original stickers were. I'm going to take the decal and I'm going to put it along the body panel, about like that. Kind of at an angle, but so that it'll fit on this. With this all cleaned off now, then the next step is when you, well, let's go through the process of printing these, because you see how it's going to look. So let me tell you how we get to this part. You take whatever you want, and either using an inkjet printer or a laser printer, and you buy the right paper for whatever printer you're doing. That should look pretty good. What you do is you print these out on the Waterslide paper. You let it dry for a few minutes, and then you take some clear lacquer or clear enamel, and then you're going to spray down the page, the entire page. You might as well, because once you've printed out it, you can't. You could reuse it, but you're not gonna. You just spray it down, let it dry for about 3 hours, and the reason you do that is because on inkjet printers, unlike laser printers, the ink will run. And how this works is we actually dip this, much like a decal, in warm tap water, and you leave it there for between 15 and 30 seconds, depending on how warm your water is. You take it out, you peel it off, and you just stick it there and let it dry. You might want to tap it down with a microfiber cloth, which is what I'm going to do. And the clear enamel or clear lacquer that you spray over this keeps the ink from running. So it's important to do that. Everything is explained on the package. I've done a lot of these. I've done some watch dials, which I haven't shown you yet. I will get to that. And it works almost perfectly. I've only had a couple of issues in the beginning before I really played around with it. So this stuff is pretty good. I like it. A lot of people make custom coffee mugs and things like that. You know, I just thought I'd try it for what I do, watches and jewelry. You know, although you're not going to use this on jewelry. So let's get to the next step. Now that it's printed, it's lacquered with some clear lacquer. You get your cup of warm water, and I'm just going to put that there. You take this, you put this in the water, and it instantly curls up. So I don't know if you can see that. It's instantly curled up. I'm going to leave it in there for just a minute. I'm going to grab another microfiber towel. That's been in there for about 10 seconds or so. Let's pull this out. And if it starts to separate, which it is, we're in good shape. Okay. Next thing is, I'm going to take that, I'm going to hold the surface, and I'm going to gently pull that. Try not to rip it. You have a few minutes to play with this, so don't be afraid. Get that out of the way. And boy, that yellow just didn't come out, did it? I might be back to the drawing board. Maybe, maybe not. I'm going to just tap that dry. Still have a few minutes to play with it. Get that to about where I want it. And that is how you do that. The yellow really just didn't come out good, so I may kind of peel this off later and go through it, but I think for today I'm just going to let this go and we'll do the other side and see how that comes out. So I'm going to do that off camera, guys, and then I will show you both on the bike and what it looks like when it's done. Okay guys, so I've got the bike back together. Well, I got the seat and the fenders back on. I just want to show you kind of how this came out. Now you can see the F650 came out really good. That was very good black saturation on that transparent paper. The ST did not come out very well, and that's my fault. I probably should have had much more yellow saturation and black saturation in those letters. But overall, I think at least the F650 coming out did really well. And you know, is it perfect? It's good enough for me. I like to have the F650 on the bike Just because everybody says to me, what is that bike? And now we can tell. And you can see on this side, not the same thing. So the ST did not come out very well, but the F650 did. If you want to see more videos on this particular project, then let me know, because I've got some work to do. There's some things I got to do. I got to get a new battery for this, as well as my wife's version, and I want to go through, clean the carburetors, make sure the gas tank's cleaned out. Like I said, I haven't ridden this bike in 2 years, so it needs a little bit of just making sure it's tuned up right. The brakes are brand new. I've already bled the brake lines, so I just want to kind of go through the bike, make sure everything else is functioning that I know of. And if this interests you and you want to see more, leave a comment in the comment section below, and I will do some more videos on this stuff. I will be doing more on Blender. I will be doing more jewelry design, and I will be doing a lot more watch repair coming up, hopefully once this whole global pandemic thing ends and we get back to normal. Take care, guys. Happy Easter. I hope you have a great day. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, considering subscribing, and always leave a request in the comments. I do read the comments. I don't respond to every single one of them, but if you guys have suggestions, please forward them to me, and I will be glad to help out. Take care.